soon, and I heard that you are also a skier.
I love skiing, but I'm kind of putting up my ski boots.
You're done.
I just feel like I am just one fall away. Because I am like a crazy skier. Like I can't ski a little bit. I'm like skiing all day.
Oh, you're going black diamond.
I go black. I don't go double black. I like blacks and blues.
Are we doing moguls?
No, not yet. But when I ski, I'm still the former first lady with security, so I have sort of a ski motorcade. So
wait, I'm trying to picture myself skiing down.
You can't tell, right?
Oh, you can't?
No, because the agents they're blending in. Some are snowboarders and but they're usually in the front and the back, right? So that no errant person just clobbers me, So I don't really know what goes on behind me when I'm skiing. I just know we make it down. And I ski with an instructor. I ski in Aspen. Vance is my ski husband, and I miss him dearly.
Vance.
I've skied with Vance for 10 years, and I hope he hears this. I love him. I miss him. I haven't skied in 2 years, but we made it a mother-daughter trip. Every President's Day weekend for the last 10 years, there are a bunch of mothers and daughters. We've all raised our kids together, and we take the long weekend, go to Aspen and ski. So yeah, but
you're done.
I'm just worried that, like I usually have one fall.
You don't need an injury. You don't need to be in a boot.
And then I can't do anything else.
And we need you to do other things.
Yeah. Anyway, so that
we need you.
Yes.
Okay. Well, good to know. I was just wondering, like hobbies.
Skier?
I'm a skier. I'm the similar way though. Like as I can.
Oh, shout out! Hold on. Shout out to. Hold on. I gotta pay respects to my guy. I gotta pay respects to my guy.
Faded. Aha.
Shout out to my dog Hanif for the fade. You know what I'm saying? Paragon. Shout out to my dog.
Shout out to the barber.
He's the, you know what I'm saying? He's the guy. He's the master, the artist behind this beautiful fade. You feel me?
Okay.
So shout out to my dog. If you live in Arizona, if you need a fly cut, you know what I'm saying, Raw or Matt or Marcus, if y'all need a fly cut, go to my guy Hanif, bro. I'm telling you.
If you come to Atlanta and get a haircut like that, it gonna run you about $200, my boy.
Hey, it's gonna run you some. It's gonna run you some bread, but it's worth it though.
Right.
No, 200.
Hey, no, not it'll run you about.
You got the cut with the steam towel on your face and shit.
Man, he washed it. Listen, he washed the head. He cut me off. Washed the hair real good. Got the tea tree oil in that thing. Faded me up real nice. Make sure I was crispified. You know what I'm saying? You feel me?
Hey, before we should we'll keep going. But I just want to put this in before we like talk on later. She says she had her ski instructor for 10 years.
Yep.
10 years. I don't know what outside sports I've done that I would need an instructor that goddamn long. Like, come on, man. Are you kidding me? 10 years? I mean,
so let me ask this question though before we move forward. Do you guys think that presidents, current and former presidents, do you believe that they share their wives?
Share?
Yeah,
I believe so.
Everybody
got some other shit going on.
You think everybody except Michelle?
This family, yeah, I don't think. Now, sharing their wives with other presidents, or sharing their wives in general as like swingers.
I would say just in general. What's up, my guys? Spaces? What's up, Bull City?
Not necessarily as swingers, but it's like, okay, so she up here popping her ski shit. She's like, my instructor is ski band. And it's like, come again?
Well, I don't think Obama was fucking around with anyone else. I think some of the past presidents were probably fucking with other people, and their wives were like maybe not. I think it's probably the other way around. No. Obama does way too much in her like favor. That if a dude was actually fucking with someone else, he wouldn't give a fuck. He wanted her to be at that shit that she didn't show up to. What was the president that died? Whatever. Like he was butthurt about it. He's butthurt a lot. about shit she does, a dude who don't give a fuck or who's doing their own thing and they say, hey, you do your own thing, it wouldn't bother them. Like, so the reason it bothers him a lot, I think he is the one who wants the shit and she's doing her own thing.
Well, she said that she didn't want him to be president. She supported it, but she said from the beginning that she didn't want him to be president. Of course, she supported him during it, but she didn't want that.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, but that doesn't like. But what I'm trying to say is, I think he might know that she's doing her own thing, but I don't think he's doing anything different. I think other presidents were doing other shit. I think they were like Bush, all those other motherfuckers. They're not kissing ass like he kisses her ass. What dude kisses someone's ass if they fucking somebody else? Nobody. You don't kiss another girl's ass if you doing your own shit. It just don't work that way.
I see what you're saying. I got you. Okay, I'm following. I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like other presidents, kind of like whatever, man. Do hey, we good? Like Trump. He don't give a fuck what Ivana's doing. Like, cool, man. Like whatever. So I can see him doing like if she's doing her own thing, he's doing her own thing. It's all good. Trump is fucking kissing, or Obama's kissing Michelle's ass. So he ain't doing. I think she's the one that's like, yo, like I want to get outside of this shit.
I can't confirm, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Just because he's in love with her does not mean that she's out here fucking around.
Oh, true, but she's not in love with him.
Ooh, disagree.
Okay.
Okay. What do you define by love then? Because
well, you're doing the same shit he's doing because he's in love. Come on.
Don't look when I'm about to answer your question, Marcus.
I got your ass.
You didn't get shit. I was about to respond because it's asinine of what you said. Just because you don't see the version of the love,
that's a good word.
But you said the version of your love, or you said the version of love could mean I don't really give a fuck, but I'm with
you only see what they show you. You're over here talking about she's thinking that what you're thinking. That she doesn't show the love that you think that she should do.
Even by you saying that means that she's not in love.
No, I don't agree with what you're saying. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
But if I give you my version of what love is, what my version is not love. My version is whatever it is. But it's my love. But anyone who look at it can tell it's not love. Because if I say I love my girl so much, and if she left, I'd be like, hey, she's got to do whatever she's got to do because I love her so much. That's my version of love. That's not really love.
I see what Marcus is saying is because majority of the times when you hear Obama talk about his wife, is very positive. It's no negative stuff. It's always about keeping the family together, this, that, and the third, and it's just real positive. Lately, when Michelle, she had her podcast with her brother. Some stuff she was saying, some stuff that even though that's her truth and blah 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 blah. Even though that's your truth, sometimes that respect level of your partner, sometimes you probably ain't gonna say that because you understand how
all women who actually see what's going on.
What's that?
We had this conversation about Aisha Curry as well. If a woman speaks her truth, then it's no, she shouldn't say it. But then how are other women supposed to know that other things are happening and how they're supposed to move or, get to know of like, oh, okay, like this is something that I went through or this is something I went through.
I think
Can I give you an example real quick? Sister Wives. I've been watching shit because it's hilarious.
The white women?
Sister Wives. I've been watching some. They're not Mormon. I mean, not some are Muslim, some are Christian.
Okay. I didn't know we were talking about the show. Okay.
Yeah, the show. So I see this shit and I see the woman will say, hey, and a lot of times they'll even bring it up. Hey, maybe she get a sister wife. But you look at the way she gets so upset and whatever, that she is not made for that. That's not what it is. And these dumbass dudes still do this shit. And I'm like, you guys are fucking idiots. Do you see, like, she doesn't fucking want this. Like, what do you think? What's going to happen at the time when she says, I'm okay with you fucking somebody else? It's about this much time when she leaves your ass. And I'm thinking, like, these dudes are fucking idiots, right? So it's okay to sometimes be like, just because it's your truth doesn't mean, like, it's a factual shit. You might think it's your truth, but really it's like, hey, I'm just trying to hold on to something that I don't need to hold on to. Like everyone knows when someone fucking loves them. It's not their truth or not. You know it. You know it. Like there's no intertwine. You know when someone loves you.
I'll say this, Ash. When it comes to speaking your truth, you have to be careful with it, because just because she's in a situation that is very, very abnormal opposed to everybody else, more than likely you should be the OG that's going through a similar situation where you giving them pointers on, hey, this is what I was going through when I was married to this superstar and this, that, and the third, and I see how you going through a similar thing. Let me give you some knowledge and how I was able to navigate through it. When you go on a public platform where there's not even majority of the percentage of the people that's listening, they're not even going through the same situation, right?
Yes.
But right? In her situation is very different from the average situation where everybody else is going through, because at the end of the day, she's speaking her truth, but at the same time, he has his side of the story of things as well. She might be off on some things, and that's something that they need to solve within themselves, within their own marriage, in the confines of their marriage, to get through it. And then once that is understood of whatever they got going on, right? Then you give it to the people that's closer to their situation, right? I look at the situation as, if I'm going through what I'm going through, I have OGs that in general conversation, they can understand what I'm talking, saying some things. They're like, let me go talk to you, young bro. Let me go talk to you, bro. Let me talk to you real quick. And guess what they do? They take me away from everybody else that's blind and don't know what I'm going through and all that type of stuff, but they've been through a similar situation. They take me to over here, and I talk to him, and we have a conversation. He gives me more nuance on things, what he did. He tell his truth, but it's in the purpose of bettering my situation. His advice is not going on deaf ears. It's going on somebody that he's choosing to have the conversation because he see something that he went through similarly, and he see it in that person, and he's trying to make sure everything's good. A lot of these people online, they gonna take what she say, misconstrued it, this, that, and third, and blah, blah, blah. They don't care. They're not even going through the same situation that she's going through. They couldn't even fathom it. They couldn't even fathom it, even if it was dialed down 5 times, because they're not actually in the marriage themselves. So they couldn't even understand what the give and take about marriage is. So they couldn't even understand it. So when you go out there and you say, I'm giving my truth and all that type of stuff, that could be very, very complicated based off the ears that it fall upon. You see what I'm saying? That's the reason why a lot of guys are saying, like, be careful with that, because at the same time, the things that you're saying that is your truth, that's a lot of times that is just your interpretation. That's not the truth.
Okay. So when she's speaking and it doesn't relate to you and you don't understand it, that means it wasn't for you. And I say that for the men that are saying, like, oh, you shouldn't say about that, because the women aren't saying that. The ones that actually understand, we're understanding it, and it's hitting. Even if I can't relate to exactly what she's going through, you can put it in different compartments, just like how you guys compartmentalize certain things. When certain people say things and you're able to separate certain shit, other people are able to too. What she's talking about is her truth. It is true what she is saying. And you don't know what she has told him, what they've talked about, what they've discussed behind closed doors, to why she feels that she can say what she says. Also, remember that Michelle does know who she is and what she can say and what she shouldn't say. So if she's going to relay something to us, that's because it's already been like fully through. It might not be, maybe she didn't give well, obviously she is giving how they've been able to overcome it because they're still together. But it does I get what all of you are saying. I understand what you're saying. I just disagree. I think that she should say her truth. I think that a lot of women should speak up. That's the same thing about women being abused, DV, or any other situation that has happened that was traumatic to them. If all it takes is one person's life to change from what they said. We don't need everybody to agree, because no one's ever going to agree with anything.
One thing, and I'll let unbiased go.
Hold on, bro. Hold on.
One thing. What if your truth was something that wasn't like that your truth in a fucking someone else over because you thought that was your truth? Let's say your truth
I
was
thought that it was their truth. It is their truth.
okay.
But how someone else feels about it is their choice.
It is your truth, but what you're preaching your truth, and your truth ends up Jesus.
Like
You know what? I don't even want to get into
I
this.
got you.
I don't want to do that.
I got
Just
you.
saying, as in like
I got
harming.
you. Hold on. If based off how I was raised, right? Let's say I make a Courtney, we've been friends since we were 8 years old. I'm going to put myself in a different situation, a whole different family dynamic that I was raised in. I was raised in a single parent home, didn't see much of my dad and everything. I'm giving my truth. I'm out here telling everybody my truth based off what the decisions I made within my life. And I made these decisions and this, that, and the third. And because I'm having this conversation with a lot of people that do not know me, I'm giving them the positive stuff. And even though I went through what I went through, I'm making light of the situation and say, hey, everything's still, I'm perfectly fine. Once the cameras are done, the people that know me best, that was raised around me, know my truth more than I know, because I want to portray a truth. And it's based off my interpretation of something. And oftentimes, a lot of times people do that because it's like a coping mechanism to be comfortable with the decisions that you made that may not be good for you. You can speak your truth all you want, but at the same time, what I think most men are saying, have the discernment of the truth that you're speaking, because the truth that you're speaking may not is necessary for everybody. It don't need to be for everybody. A lot of the stuff that either Michelle or Aisha Curry was saying, a lot of that stuff they should have went to therapy to talk about, to navigate through, to get a full understanding about something. You know what I'm saying? But because that's my truth, like I guarantee if most men came out here and they just started talking about their truth in their marriages, and they started talking about their wives, about their truth, guess what? It'll be a gender war.
I think that that's really what it comes down to, is because what I'm getting from these conversations, because like it does, what I'm listening to, it does just sound like women shouldn't say anything about their relationships.
No,
and it's because men feel like they can't say anything or choose not to say anything about their relationships because of how it would
know
look.
the consequences. We understand consequences.
Sure, because it's looked at differently when men say something than as women. Sure,
No, it's consequences. Consequences could affect us positive or negative. Like, it's consequences. If I told my truth about everything, shit that don't need to be said, which I understand, like, hey, you know what? Just don't say that shit. Cool. Deal it in home, fine. But it's consequences. When people are rich people can do a lot of the shit that other normal people can't do. So, like, if they show their truth is a lot different than normal people. Rich people's truth is a lot different.
People that will listen.
Say what?
There are other people. I hear what y'all are saying. No matter how else you guys feed it to me, I completely understand what you're saying. We're just gonna have to agree to disagree.
All right, let me one more thing. What if my truth was I wasn't ready to be a father, and I got forced to be put in a situation because I did do what I did? It was a decision between me and that woman that I had a baby with. I don't have no kids. I'm just making up a scenario.
Right.
I mean, I'm saying this for the listeners. I'm just making up a scenario. And I just came out and said my truth, right? I said my happiness is the most important thing for me. I'm not ready to be a father. And I feel like she was putting me in a situation that was going to be very, very counterintuitive within the direction that I'm going within my life, within my peace that I got, right? If I had to take care of this kid, I had to deal with her and all that type of stuff, I'm not happy. It's my peace, and I'm telling my truth. And then a lot of other guys said, hell yeah, do that. That's what I'm talking about. X, Y, and Z, and then start cultivating. Because I remember us having a conversation about something like this, similarly with the Charlie Kirk situation, where you got a lot of people cultivating, hearing the message that he's saying, and they start moving in a direction based off what a lot of people fear, right? So if it was a situation, I started saying my truth, and then more men say, hey, that's my truth. I don't want to take care of my kids and all that type of stuff. Me, myself, even though I made that example, me, myself would say that would be a bad thing to say on the public, even though that is something that you're feeling, but that is something that you need to talk to the person that you laid down with. That is not something that everybody else need to listen to.
Matt, But no. I was going to ask this real quick. But what if your girl was a very, 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 very responsible person that said, hey, you know what? You do your thing, but you told your truth. But that's not everyone else. But you told your truth.
Yeah,
not everyone's gonna think that same shit.
Yeah,
but you kind of like played out because my significant other is a very responsible person and gonna take care of this shit. It's gonna allow me to do whatever the fuck I want to do is my truth, and not gonna fuck me over in the end. So, but that's your truth though. But everyone's gonna not know about that other end.
Yeah, and that's my whole thing about you gotta have the discernment when you say my truth. Your truth, even though you want to feel like you can just say it to everybody, that message is not for everybody to listen, because sometimes at that point in time, you saying your truth, as time go on 5 years, you reflect and go back and say, you know what, I might have not made the best decision at that situation. So now my truth is kind of like different now. But it's a lot of people that have been following me. They was following me. They heard what I said and they kind of followed the same thing I was doing. And they was in a similar situation. Now that I got the discernment, I can make a better decision to put out whatever information that I want to give out, if that makes sense.
Nothing. Right. Because no matter what you say, someone is going to pull it how they want to pull it. So it just means that we shouldn't talk about the things that we go through, because yes, it could help the people that we said it for, but then there's also other people that can now follow suit in the same way, in a different manner.
In the beginning, hold on, y'all. We gotta play some more video. I'm gonna just
say this one thing. I'm gonna leave it alone. It's just about discernment of who we talk about emotional intelligence. So just to have the discernment of what you say, even though it's your truth, it can affect the people that's closest to you, and you just got to be careful with that. And I'll leave it at that.
We are still of a generation where that's what women did. We did go to college. We were different. There was the expectation that you went to college. We all got our degrees, but everybody started getting their MRS, as they called it, out of college. And that was also a part of it. And you'd have a career, but you'd do it until you got pregnant. So we have to admit that women of my generation, there was a path. And we carry that with us, and we imprint that onto our kids as like, this is the way that I know that you'll be happy, so I can stop worrying about you, and I can know that you'll have a good life.
It's such a good point of like, putting the former beliefs and system onto the new generations. Because like, you even think about it, like, why do women have Miss, Mrs. and then Miss, and men never change from Mr.
You're always you. Once again, you don't have to evolve. See, we're even evolving. What do I call myself?
We're changing up here,
right? It's like I went through that too when I got married. I was like, okay, I'm gonna be Michelle Robinson Obama, right? And I did that. I was in a real career, and I felt like this is a lot of name.
It feels like a little silly.
Like Michelle Robinson Obama. Hello. I did that for like a month. And I was like, okay, I'm tired. Me
too.
I got to write that down. That's long. 3 syllables for 3 names.
It's too much.
So I was like, okay, let me pick one. And I stuck with Obama because I had a brother. I didn't come from a family that my father was like, you carry the name. It was like, it's a name. And I was like, Obama is really strange name. So let's all just be this strange name together. Let's just all take it on.
What up?
All right. So now that we done got here, I didn't really get to speak on the last time we stopped. The thing that, Ashley, I'm gonna just speak to women through you. The thing that y'all don't understand is Michelle's coming off like another Jada Pinkett. It's like she feels like she has a superiority to her husband, which is fine. You can feel how you feel. If we played a little more, she'll get into that. So I'll just leave that open on that part. But the thing is, from what like Marcus was trying to say, it's like every time Barack speaks on the family and tries to talk about Michelle, he bigs her up. Every time Michelle talks from a guy's side of the aisle, it just sounds like she's throwing shots and she sneak dissing. That's the problem with nobody's taking her accolades from her. Nobody's taking her accomplishments or whatever. But you know, it's like now she was like, "Oh, Michelle Robinson Obama." I just picked a weird name. Like, damn, do you like bro or not? Like, I get that you got your degree with your name, but last time I checked, you don't have a dick. So of course your father ain't telling you that you got to carry on the father's name. We're in a country where, you know, if you want to call patriarchy or whatever, which is what y'all trying to just disassemble so we can just run wild and free and then everybody can just be fucked off, that's fine because that helps promote therapy and all that extra bullshit. That's cool. But it's like, okay, at no point in time in this country was a man and woman supposed to get married and then the man takes the woman's last name. It's always been standard that the woman takes the man's name. A part of that is, if I'm gonna be responsible for you, people need to know you mine. That's the whole reason you take over the name. So the fact that you had to do that just shows that you battling with yourself for dominance. And that's another problem that people have. I'm just giving you the optics of it.
I'm listening.
I'm not necessarily saying that's her situation. This is the optics as to why when she speaks, women act like it's a Beyonce concert and men start throwing rotten tomatoes.
Because it's not for you.
It's not that it's not for us, it's that it's stupid.
No, it's not for you. That's how you guys feel about what she says and what other women say that you disagree. The content is not for you.
Okay, so then if it's not for us, then get the divorce and speak on that shit single.
No.
Because you're not making marriage look good either.
No, because it's not for you. On the women's side, I do not see that she does not love her husband from the things that I have saw. And even if she talks about what she's going through or what she has been in through her relationship, we as women need to hear that shit. That does not mean that she doesn't love him. As for men, all you guys hear is that she's taking shots. When she just talked about that she took her husband's last name and she thought that it was weird, in no way did I think in my mind like, oh yeah, she fucking hates her husband. That was a shot. Like, no, because the content isn't for you. It's for us because we understand it differently. Now y'all can think what you want to think about it and that's totally fine, but when she speaks, it's not for y'all. And that's why.
You're on a podcast that says call her daddy. Y'all already know how
it's for us.
Exactly, because y'all dick is in the sock drawer. Ours is on us at all times.
And that's look, if we want to talk about the patriarchy, that's something completely different. If you want to talk about men and women and what you can do and what we can do and we can't do.
I think this whole concept is the same thing how racism happened. Like, same shit. Like, black people are different than fucking white people. I think almost the same shit. It's like, how do we make this different than these are people? Like it is. This is for us. Like, no, like that's not productive. Like it's almost like because I was thinking about this shit the other day. As a kid, like, do you think as a child, do you think the parent should care more for the kid or the kid should care more for the parent? Do you think, like, if I was 15 years old and I had the choice and I had to just say, hey, I got all this kind of money, do you think I would take care of my parents the way they should be taken care of? About 15.
Depending on how you were raised, yeah.
Okay, so most kids know. Most kids gonna buy some whole crazy ass shit, and then you're gonna say, hey, they're grown up and they should be able to take care of themselves. But my parents are gonna think way different about me, even though if I did that shit, it's gonna think a lot different.
Yeah, because you're older. You have common sense. You understand. Like that's experience.
It's really not an excuse. But I get what you're trying to say. I get it.
So I'm sorry. Okay, so you're telling me a 15-year-old and a 30 to 40 plus are supposed to have the same mindset when it comes to how they need to evaluate money?
They should not. But what I'm trying to look at is how hierarchy happens. Women take our last name because we're going to take care of you. Like, it doesn't matter what the fuck happens. Like, it doesn't matter most of the shit. At the end of the day, we're there. You guys don't give a fuck at the end of the day most of the times. Like, it's kind of like if a girl's in charge, the dude would be fucking on the wayside. Like, it would be no way that we would even fucking survive if that was the case. So that's the reason I would say God made men should be this way. because we do care more.
Or you're just saying the Bible, correct? Not really God.
I'm not really a Bible person. To be real with you, I'm not really a Bible person. I'm just like more logic. Like more like
logic.
More logic. So,
are you sure it's logic or not patriarchy? Because if you were talking,
no, it's more logic. I mean, okay. So
actually, if you're in a relationship with a man, are you willing to die for that man?
Are we like married? I mean, yes, in the sense, but no, also in the sense, because that's also patriarchy. Y'all are put in that place. You chose that position, so I'm going to take that.
We didn't really choose it.
We didn't.
Okay, well then this is two different things because you said you didn't really choose it. Well, you have a choice then.
If you want men to choose, in a large majority scale, if you want men to choose, they all have 5-10 bitches apiece.
And that's a choice.
They didn't choose just to die for you.
Relationships, some have sister wives, some have all the things. It's a choice forever. You just choose to go with
men
what sounds correct.
Men are forced into the corner to have one woman, so it's not a choice. It's a standard, but it's not a choice.
To do other things that are womanly, like that the patriarchy also built. But we have a choice to do it or not. You just choose to do it. And yes, sometimes it fucking sucks.
Okay,
sucks on
so if you got married and you're supposed to be this poster couple for the world or whatever, which I get that's not necessarily what Michelle wants. I understand that.
But hold on, bro, let's go. But she's getting like what most people want. Like she has she's got she just told on a ski trip, she's got fucking 3 bodyguards behind her in front of her. She's protected. She's got money. She never has to worry about shit. Like that is way different than anyone. Like their lifestyle is not like anyone normal. So we should not even compare ourselves. But goddamn, I would be so fucking grateful. And it is just crazy that no one is. Like I don't see her being grateful.
She herself and what she's gone through. She's not grateful because
I do not see her being grateful. If my wife brought that type of shit to me, bro, I'm telling you, she would be in my conversation in most things that I'm talking about. If she brought that type of shit to me, that like I'm living a comfortable life, doing all this shit, I can do. Yeah, dude. Like I don't know, bro. It's crazy as fuck to me. Just the.
No, just because she has money doesn't mean that she doesn't go through shit. Everybody goes through shit.
Everyone goes through shit. But you understand where the money came from. The money didn't come from her. She gets to live this life that she fucking hates or whatever.
Let's not act like she didn't have a life before he decided to be the president.
All right, well, so I'm gonna just do this, right? Because I know we're not gonna get through the full content, and I actually watched the full content. And there's another part that I would like us to jump through. We're probably already in it, but in this content, which you can go back and digest later if you care, she speaks on how when Obama even started at the practice, she was at a higher level than him, and she didn't really want him just because she was already above him, right? So it's like from the beginning of the relationship, she felt like she was up here and he's down here.
Yeah.
Okay, before you go further, let's get into it. So before you give it that context, because I think we there. Because it was the second part that you're saying, right?
Yeah.
So we already there. What up, Corey? Corey, if you're trying to pop in, Corey, go ahead and pop in. My bad.
I'll take it.
I'll take it.
But that was the thought. Yeah. It's like, let me just pick. But he wasn't going through this. He wasn't changing his license and his social security number. And, so yeah, another way that we evolve. And it's another way to send a subliminal message that it is up to us to do the evolving.
It is. And I love how you've spoken about society's expectations we're discussing, obviously, of women to stay nice and to stay passive and small, and how hard it is if you are a driven, ambitious woman trying to make a big impact. When we talk about dating for my audience, so many women, I think then if they are going against the societal norms and they're like, okay, I'm going to focus on myself. I'm going to pour into myself. I'm going to focus on being an individual. I don't need a man. I want a man, but I don't need a man. Mm-hmm. Then it brings the whole caliber of, oh God, then you have to potentially shrink yourself when you do find a man because you're so sure of yourself. And that is terrifying for most men. And so they're threatened and you're kind of trying to play the game and you can't be your full self. Did you ever feel like you had to do that when you first met Barack Obama and you were an experienced lawyer and he was a summer associate.
Yeah.
Oh, it was right there.
Fortunately, it was one of the things that drew me to him. Like
She's praising
I
him.
didn't have to change my fundamental self. I think it helped that we started out that summer with me not seeing him as a potential because I was his advisor. And I was like, yeah, no, we're not going to do that. Right. And why? He's cute, but I have a lot of friends. And so I think that helped. Right. Because we didn't start up our relationship as, oh, I'm going to try to, yeah, and maybe it would have. But I think we kind of entered it, as peers, and we developed our relationship because we had the same kind of humor and we'd make the same kind of jokes and we'd find the same things kind of corny, and I was being fully myself, cynical in ways. And, I'd pick at him and be like, that's weird. Why do you do that? I mean, so the fact that made him think we should date, right? It's like that meant that that didn't repel him. That was like, he was like, and I was like, no, we shouldn't date because that looks tacky. And it was like, I don't care what people say. So
Hey,
it's
pause
like,
one second.
So what do I?
She was saying she was being a nice lady. She didn't say like.
She said she was cynical as well, which means she had banter, and she said that she didn't like stuff. She's also uplifting him. He's exactly where he wants to be with this woman.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. Do not doubt it at all. But for me, way she explained this, she was just like a normal feminine woman, like whatever. Like she's had a higher job, but like what she's explaining right now doesn't seem anything crazy.
This is her stating that she is building the relationship of how they got there. But these are the things that she viewed in the relationship that built them to have the foundation that she had. Is what I mean, as like she's building it up, as in like she does love this man because of these things.
But okay, and okay, cool. Like to me, it seems normal. But for me, what I think is going to change is when he surpasses her. But okay, but keep going.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, maybe not.
I tell a lot of young girls, like, dating different people helped me to see the difference in who Barack was when he showed up. I don't, if he had been the first person I dated because I just didn't date, I might have taken that for granted. I might have thought, yeah, well, these are buddy vibes, right? I had learned enough to know this is different in an important way. And I just think that's the experience of dating different people and noticing in the end, I want young listeners to focus more on their internal feelings. It's like really, instead of what is what the world is telling you to feel, really start trusting your gut and building that internal gut of how you feel about other people, how you feel about yourself. Because I think in the end, the work is still within. Like the only thing you really can control is you in this world. And even in my marriage now, you go through the period of, I want him to be different. I want him to do this differently. I've grown to know I don't have control over him, just like he doesn't have control over me. So let me do my work and let him do our work. And together we come together as whole people. And so I want our listeners, because they're mine now too, right?
Bring them in, Michelle.
Like, let's do the work on self. Like, start feeling good about yourself. Start working on your health. Start feeling strong within yourself. Start practicing self-esteem. Start working on building your relationships and your friendships. Work on being as whole as you can be, because you can't control who's going to love you, who's going to like you, who's going to give you a job, who's going to see you the way you want to be seen, because everybody has their own stuff. And so you can't define yourself by other people's stuff. So, like, how do we become more confident individuals? We have to practice that, work on ourselves. We have to know pick apart those aspects of our childhood that we carry around. I am a believer in therapy. I go to therapy. We've been in couples therapy. I believe in the practice of having those conversations with objective people who help you piece through that stuff. And it's a constant, it's constant work. You don't get to a point where like, I'm there, I'm done, I'm good. It's over, right? And then, so I don't want people to be intimidated by like, this is what life is. We were ever growing, evolving, improving. There isn't like a finish line where you get an A and you're now a whole person perfectly. I'm 62. It doesn't happen. My mother was 86 when she died, and there were parts of her that she was still building upon. And so it's not in your 80s. You know, I had a great conversation with Jane Fonda and Beth Ann Hardison on my podcast about aging in the public eye. They're still having those conversations with themselves about evolving. And I think that that is the power that we have as women, is that we know we have to keep evolving. And so we do. A lot of men don't. They don't.
It's so true.
They're just like here and proud of it.
Right.
Because I've worn these same pants for 20. It's like, don't say that. Like, that's not cool.
Okay. So
Hey,
up to this point, I don't see anything wrong with what she's saying. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. But what I do see that we aren't addressing is to call her daddy. She's the one trying to paint the narrative and try to pin that into a corner to make it seem as if, you know, try to do this whole rah-rah, let women roar situation. I don't see anything that would, yeah, she is. Yeah.
No, I mean, what else is she supposed to do?
Well,
like, that's
again,
what you do.
it's kind of how this call her daddy situation. I get the play on words, right? But it can still send a negative connotation. But in regards to Michelle, I don't see anything that she's saying is wrong. I think women should be evolving. I do think that women should continue to grow. I do believe that they shouldn't stay stagnant. They should always want to be the best version of themselves, even though I disagree with the therapy aspect of it. But hey, that's neither here nor there.
I got a question when you're done.
But I don't see anything. I honestly don't see anything wrong with what she just said right now in this whole situation. When I started to play from now, I don't see anything wrong with what she just said.
No, it's not she said it was wrong, but like the whole thing is that what she's saying, she got this platform because of Obama. She's able to like say what the fuck she wants to say because of him. Again, like shit is different. Like shit is different when you're talking about normal people. There's some dudes who have gotten certain shit. I don't know. Like, it's hard to explain. I know Ashley, it's hard to explain for me to try to like articulate it to where I just think this is the wrong way to talk to normal people. To say like this is I've been allowed all this like if some dude like Elon Musk, if his son was like whatever, you know what I'm saying, and he came about all this prolific shit of how things should be, I don't know if I would listen to him, because life has been great for him and it's opened these doors. I don't know if that would equate to me, because I don't have those that same. It wouldn't work the same way for me. Even though the shit he said sounds good, it just wouldn't work the same. So I don't know if we should listen to this stuff as like Bible as far as like women should.
Yeah, I think some women do listen to it as Bible, but I do. But again, I don't see anything wrong with what she just said. She didn't say
I don't think she said
anything negative in regards to her husband Obama. She's just speaking particularly in regards to the woman being a wife and different things like that and how they need to evolve.
But as you was talking about the call her daddy chick, she was kind of like trying to push it like, you're a woman, you can do this, like you can. This is what it is. And the thing is, if there weren't like a lot of sim dudes around who wanted women to be a certain kind of way, because like, one thing she said was not being like, she didn't say submissive, but like not in charge type of thing. Like that's what you should do. A lot of dudes, no matter what it is, if another dude was trying to get a position, he was like very, very aggressive, he would never get the job. And it's crazy how women think if they're really aggressive, they actually get the job because there's a lot of dudes who will give it to them.
Because it's cute. Because it's cute to them.
It's cute to them. If a dude came to another dude very, very aggressive about getting a job, he would not fucking get it.
Right, but there's a difference because men will get it just for being simple and plain.
While women have to
go 10 times harder to get the same fucking job, and we're more educated. You can think what you want, but you're also not a woman dealing with women shit. You don't see what we have to deal with every day and how we have to work. And if so many women are saying it and you guys are still sitting here fucking oblivious, like, no, that's not fucking true.
Just because you said it doesn't make it right.
But women know exactly what the fuck it is. We do have to work harder, especially on top of being Black. Mm-hmm. And we have better credentials. That is just something point blank, period. You can agree with it or not, but you're also not living in a woman's body. And it's more than one woman trying to say it, so it's confusing to me.
But let me ask you this, Ash. In regards to more credentials, what does the more credentials in what field does that apply?
Right. That goes for all different platforms of her job. Like her saying, was she a lawyer? Is that what she was saying? Like, yes, I'm sure she did have to work to wherever she had to get to 10 times harder because of who she is as a woman and a Black woman. That's just it is. So now that doesn't apply to all jobs, you know what I mean? If you're working at fucking Walmart, it is what it is. But when you do get higher up the ladder, yes, you do have to act accordingly and you do have to work harder. That's just what it is.
But hold on, Mark. But here's the thing. But here's the thing, though. So you're saying that, but look at it like this as well. Just take the female aspect out of it. You see how we always hear a lot of people talking about, well, I didn't get the job because I'm Black and I got to work 10 times harder because I'm Black. When sometimes you just may not be, you just may not be capable of doing the job. And sometimes I know a lot of people revert to that. Oh, well, I'm a woman, I got to work 10 times harder. Now, there are situations where women are better than men. But when we say across the board, when we say in general, no. Most women are not, they do not have, now the ones, there are one-offs. Now, mind you, there are one-offs. But when you look at it,
how can you say that when you're not a woman?
Baby girl, we gotta look at the entire thing from a general perspective. Hold on, Matt. You gotta look at everything from a general perspective. Yeah, there are some one-off situations. But how many dope lawyers are you gonna come across versus dope lawyer men? How many? When you say, based off of what you said, the credentials and they top men, how many of them are you going to come across versus the men? How many?
I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but I get what you're saying. Because you're going as like, oh, there's 100 men and there's 5 women. Is that how you're saying it?
No. If I'm saying there's 100 men and 100 women, all of them were lawyers.
All of them same credentials.
All of them same credentials. How many of them will actually be capable of doing the job? If you put both of them together, how many more men or how many more women do you think will win that? Will get the job, and not just based off of who's a man, not based off of color, just based off of their credentials.
If they all have the same credentials, I don't know. They're all qualified. It sounds like both of them are qualified on either end. Then that just comes down to personality.
Well, that kind of defeats your argument when you say that women, their credentials across the board are better than men.
I didn't say their credentials across the board are better than men. No, what I said was there are women that are better than some men when they don't get the job, or they have to work hard. I didn't say they don't get the job. I said they have to work harder to get where they're going. That's what I said. I never said that they couldn't or whatever about the men. No. They have to work harder to do it.
Yeah, I agree. There are some women. Yeah, I agree. There are some women. Again, there are some women who are dope as fuck, right? But again,
and you don't think that they have to work harder? You think that it's just like
I don't because we've been so brainwashed to the fact of social media. Everybody comes on, they think that they were supposed to get the job, and they think that they're supposed to get it because
I'm literally
because we see it more often. We see it more often on these social media platforms. They say, "Oh, I had the credentials. I was just at the third, and it's because I'm a woman and I'm a Black woman, or I'm a white woman and I'm just a woman and I live in a patriarchal society. They don't want me." Most men would want to hire a woman, but they understand that a lot of these women aren't capable of doing the job, so that's why they don't get hired. It's not because, oh well, well, it's because I'm a woman, they don't want me here. No, but also some of those women who also get these positions too, they come with this type of attitude as if they gotta do, they have to be more than what they need to be. They're a little extra. So you going into the boys club and you're trying to change things around. It's kind of like sports in them. Why what's her name left? What was her name? Quinn, whatever the fuck her name was Stephen A. Smith. Why she left? She thought that she deserved more money when she wasn't really like that. It's just because that she was there, she thought that she thought that she was supposed to get more money, and that wasn't the case. But she just wasn't competent enough to get more money. And so this is the same situation in a lot of these corporate positions. That's what happens in a lot of these corporate positions. A lot of these women think that they deserve more just because if they're women, and just because they don't get it, they think,
it's not just because they're women. I'm talking about the ones that have the experience and are doing the job. Those are the women I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the ones that don't deserve it. I'm not talking about the ones that.
But Ashley, do you understand? Like a lot of women are like book smart, like 100%, like can follow directions like a motherfucker, and men are not like that. But we are based on like what is actually going on. So like a lot, like I do this shit at work all the time. It is more like it's black and white. This is what the rule says, and this one I'm gonna follow. It is not like breaking it down to actually this shit is different, and that now I gotta break that rule to make this better. A lot of women don't do that shit. It's more like this is what it is, and this is how I go. And you guys are really good at that. But a lot of times men are way different because we actually break down the situation and do the best thing for the situation. Doesn't matter like what the rule says it should be. If you get what I'm trying to say. So a lot of times in work, that's how it works.
I'm put it like this, dog. We have lived in a society that's for decades that discounted the work that men do to get to the point where they at in their life. Right? To the point that just like Ash is saying you gotta work 10 times better. There are men getting to the point in their lives they have to work 10 times better. They do. They do. I'm a living proof of it. And Courtney, I talk to Courtney all the time. So what sometimes when people say, "What there's enough women saying the same thing," there's enough men saying the same thing to the point that we have to point out that it's a subjective thing. It's not an objective thing that you feel like you supposed to have got that promotion. You supposed to did this. You feel like you do better than this person in X, Y, and Z. You're not around that person 24/7 to understand how do they get to the point to where they at. You may feel like you know better than them and all that stuff, but you actually don't know.
So
hold on. The reason why I'm bringing this up because it do hit home for me because I work my ass off to get to where I'm at.
Right. So then we agree.
Hold on. No, hold on.
We don't agree, but I'm gonna cook out.
It's not that we agree. It's one of those things where everything is subjective, and then you have social media influence. You have other women having this confirmed bias from other women saying the reason why I ain't get this because it's a man's world, it's the patriarchy, this, that, and the third, and blah blah blah. But I'm seeing more women in leadership than ever these days, and I'm not mad at it. But I'm not mad at it at all. My thing about it is we can't sit here and continue to say that, and we seeing more women in leadership, but at the same time say, "Oh man, they ain't gotta know nothing. They just get in leadership." Yeah, are there bad actors in leadership, and you don't understand how the hell they got there? Yes. Do the good old boy clubs still exist? Yes. In the black community, and us as black people, we never had that luxury as us as black men. We never had it. We have never had it. So every time we have this conversation, I'm just baffled at one hand when we want to talk about straight up black history. Oh, our black men never had a fair chance at it. But then when we talk like how we talking right now, it's like, well, black men, we're not performing at the way that women are, and they should be in these positions. I'm not even saying that they shouldn't, but the whole thing is one of those things that the system currently right now is creating what we do, what's going on right now is women do not want to identify the hardship what men go through to get to where they at, to where they going, where they want to be, because they so thinking about themselves and what they have to do to become great. Let me tell you, realistically, the people that's on the top, It's very few of them. So you have to do 10 times. Everybody has to do 10 times better than the rest of everybody. Everybody have to do it, and somebody gonna lose. It's different perspectives. It's different situations. You may have the capability, but you don't have the nuance of being able to have the charisma and be able to talk with people well. There's so many different reasons why you didn't get the job or whatever. It's so many different reasons. Just because subjectively you didn't get it doesn't mean anything. Us as black men, there's a lot of black men out here doing a whole bunch of stuff, and y'all just don't know how much time they actually, while you sleep, they up working and just being on top of things. You just don't know. But to them, they wake up the next day and it looks easy, and you say, they just giving it to them. But I got to work 10 times as a black woman. This is a divide that's going on purposely because the system wants us to be divided. Long as women think that they deserve it because when men ain't doing shit, and then it creates the division. There's men out here kicking, they doing what they supposed to be doing. I see it all the time. And a lot of them got family and stuff, so it ain't even about them specifically on a selfish level. They thinking about their family and everything of that nature. They might be the first one to get out the hood. They might be the first one to go to college and actually get this and do this. And every time he go home, hey, how you doing? How the college boy, he doing this and everything. And he kept trying to keep that standard up. This is not the story that we hear on a consistent basis. What we hear is men got it easy.
It only counts if you're mad and you bitch about it.
Now, and then this the problem. The men ain't out here bitching about it. They just out here doing what they got to do to get to where they need to be. But the women, it's one of those things where I didn't get the job. They feel like they did better in X, Y, and Z. They feel like they should have got paid more, but this person get paid more. You don't even know what the negotiation was when you got that job. Yes, he might get paid more than you because he negotiated and you didn't. It's so many different factors. So I'm tired of that. I'm tired of this whole conversation about just women, this, that, and the third. Us as a whole, as black people, been working our ass off. It's getting to a point that don't nobody want to recognize it no more. It's one of those things that it's just like, I want to know. Ashley, let me know when black men got in the Good Old Boys Club. That we had the same situation where our white counterparts as men when we was working in the mailroom. And we trying to get up corporate America and this, that, and the third, and they wouldn't let us because of our skin. When did we get accepted in the Good Old Boy Club that everything was just cool for black men and it was just unfair for black women? And we wasn't working cohesiveness together to get where we need to go.
Hi. I think we have switched because we were specifically talking about a woman, but if we want to talk about black people as a whole, I do hear what you're saying.
I'm talking about women.
Well, so, no, you're not, because you're including black men right now, and that we are all working hard, which we are as a whole. So then let's talk about that, because right now you're trying to separate it, but 2 seconds ago you were putting us together. And I see that you're very passionate about it, and so I respect it. As a whole, absolutely. As a whole, the black community, we do have to work harder to get where we're going. We're not going to single out at this point, if that's what you want to talk about.
No, that's not. My thing is, I'm not separating it as I'm not putting the situation in a whole. My thing is addressing the situation where black women feel as though that they are just alone out here, and they the only one feeling the pain of trying to matriculate through this thing called life. Whatever endeavor that they got, whether it's corporate America, whereas blue collar, white collar, or whatever, and y'all the only one that's got to do what y'all got to do 10 times better and this, that, and the third, and men don't understand. Just because men just sit here and we just endure this stuff and we don't get online and we have to tell our truth and everything, because guess what? Us as men, we get out here and tell the truth. Guess what? The truth gonna tell us it don't fucking matter. Go out there and do what you gotta fucking do. Be an adult. So my whole thing about this situation is it's always thrown on men in men's faces that women are out here struggling. Women are not getting the opportunity they supposed to or what they deserve. And men out here, us black men just flourishing, it just come natural. Like we not doing the work as well. That is my thing. It's like it's always this conversation where black women are doing this and we're not doing nothing. So what I'm saying is, where in history where this leg up that black men had, that y'all saying that we got for y'all to work as hard as y'all got it 10 times over than us?
I personally didn't say that, but if you're talking about as a whole, I don't know many black women that are shitting on black men that they're not working hard when it comes to what you're specifically talking about. I understand what you're saying. I see that you're passionate right now about it. When I'm talking specifically about the woman's play, that doesn't mean that I'm shitting on the black man that he's not doing shit and he's flourishing, or he is doing a whole bunch. We're both going through the same bullshit in a different toilet. Like,
So,
I'm just talking about what I'm going through.
Hold on, let it cook. Let
We're
it cook.
going through, and I hear what you're saying, and I do agree with it. So I can't speak for everybody else when it comes to how women think. I can only tell you my version of that.
Go ahead, Ro.
No, what I was trying to get to is, even when Michelle was talking, see, the problem is I'm not really trying to throw a cape over the whole thing, but hey, I just talk how I talk. The way y'all got this sisterhood set up, y'all don't realize when y'all disrespecting men or downplaying what men go through or all of that. That's the problem, because y'all so focused on the girl experience that y'all ain't looking at the bigger picture. So the thing is, in this podcast, Michelle specifically said that, oh, hey, women always have to evolve. Why is it Miss, Mrs., and Miss, and the men just stay the same and blah blah blah? So you already have a preconceived notion that men just don't evolve. The thing with men, we gonna go outside the house, and when shit get hard, we gonna huddle up with the guys. We got to take care of y'all. We can't cry on your shoulders and be your provider, protector. So we hang out with the guys and we brainstorm, we figure shit out. That's why you see Mac is so passionate about it. Because, hey, if I done did everything, what the fuck do I have to do? When we go to the job, we put our time in. We know we got the credentials for it. And then right when it's time for us to get promoted, here comes some nepotism. Oh, hey, well, the boss's nephew over here just graduated high school. So that role that just opened up, we just going to put him in. And we're like, yo, what the fuck? But we don't come home and tell y'all that. So y'all don't know how hard we fighting too. And then when y'all get out there, y'all like, oh, well, the women fighting, the men just have it easy. It's like, no, we just know how to make shit look easy because we was built for this shit. That's why we try to keep y'all out of this shit, but y'all fighting to get in it. And then some of the people that get in it end up being distractions and fuck the whole shit up. That's another thing. And Michelle honestly spoke about that in there. So, like, I'm not necessarily like trying to attack Michelle, but I am saying that, overall, the more she talks, the more she ends up on like a Jada Pickett side, to where she just Jada make Will look like a goofball, to the point where he went out there and slapped somebody on her behalf, and then she was like, oh, well, I didn't tell him to do that. So now he look extra stupid. If anything, stand behind him for slapping a motherfucker on your behalf. If anything else, like, shit, he ain't do that for his fucking ego. He did that to protect your bald head ass. And then she get up here, this man ran the whole country, whatever. This whole last election, he was talking condescending to black men, whatever. Then every time she get up there, it's like she want to still be like a step above him. And it's like, okay, now y'all wonder why men just want to pump and dump and do all the other stuff. Nobody want to fucking be in the union no more, because this is what we got to look up to. I understand the fact that, hey, women, y'all fighting y'all way out of a wet paper bag too. The patriarchy is lifting. Y'all want to fight for what y'all want to eat what y'all kill as well. I get that part. I'm not going to discredit that. But at the same time, once you are in a, like, this ain't Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. You ain't single out here just, deep throating behind the curtains and then coming out here and just acting like shit sweet. Like, you're actually married. And it's when you talk, you can't necessarily fully dim Barack's light and his accolades and stuff. Hey, that man made it to president, whatever. You can't never necessarily shit on that, but it's just like from the shadows when you talking, it's like you still, like, you struggling with your identity, like you're trying to be better than him, and it doesn't look good when you zoom out to everybody else that's supposedly supposed to look up to you. Y'all supposed to be the poster couple or whatever. However, people, I don't necessarily really look up to people that much like that. I try to carve my own path, but in a general sense, you're supposed to be like the poster example of what it is to be a successful black relationship. We don't got the Huxtables and all that no more. Just like, hey, before Trump ran for presidency, that man was the poster child of getting to some money. He was like, if you had your top 5 hustlers, Trump was up there in the poster rack somewhere. Now he became president, and you know everybody else started feeling how they feeling off on the side and whatever. So that's all convoluted. Even people that rocked with him turned their back on him, and this just seems like, okay, Barack damn near died for your ass, and then you just make him look like a goofy, like
to men.
I'm just giving you the general sentiment. Like, I really like this conversation because at the same time, I'm raising 2 daughters. I want my daughters to be strong as well. So there's things that I can take from the conversation and implement into raising my daughters. Because, hey, just like she said, the world is constantly changing. So, you know, just like we say, yesterday's price ain't today's price. Yesterday's experience ain't today's experience. When we grew up, we was outside riding bikes. We was 9 zip codes away from home. We still made it back home with paper maps and shit before the street lights came on. These kids are on a tablet. The things that they see in one day, it took us 2 years to see. So I understand, like, you know, certain points of the conversation, but when it comes to like the relationship dynamic between her and Barack, it just seems like she really tries to separate herself and almost kind of like dim his light. If you kind of just listen just from a man's perspective. And don't get me wrong, she went to law school, she got all her accolades. I understand that. I cheer for that. You passed. My sister, she's in her law program right now, trying to get past California State Bar. And Cali on some bullshit with that shit. So if anybody know how this shit go, when it come to fighting for your life to pass the bar, I secondhand know, because I'm watching my sister go through this. I'm watching her cry on the phone with me saying, oh, she don't know why this and that is third. Or we read reports in the news as to how, you know, there's some fraud or whatever, but they don't even care about the fraud. Everybody that failed the test got to retake the test, even though the issue with the test was on their side and not on the people that was actually taking his side and all this other. So don't get me wrong. I understand that, you know, at times women feel like the world's against them too. It's just when men fight the world, we don't come back and report to y'all how big of a fight we going through. We just come back, hey, yeah, our day was good. It is what it is. As long as you happy, you cook, you do whatever. As far as the old guard went, when you was at home actually tending to the kids or whatever, not worrying about what's going on outside. And then boom, when we go start up that barbecue grill outside and you see us on the phone, in the back of your mind, you think we talking to a side bitch? No, I'm calling Courtney. Hey, bro, over at your job, what the fuck they got going on? Because these people over here bullshitting like XYZ. And he like, oh, man, I'm going through the same thing over here. But, you know, somebody at my job was actually looking out and told me to do XYZ so I could do this. And if I get this, I might plug you in over here and vice versa. So we all go through the same shit. It's just the men don't talk as much out loud and make it look easy. And then it just comes off like weird, like in a weird, disrespectful manner when women talk and act like we don't evolve, we don't grow, we don't do anything, like we just stagnant and y'all just the only ones that's fighting to hold up the Statue of Liberty while we just fucking picking up rocks in the middle of the backyard. It's just, that's kind of where the disconnect is on the sides of the conversations.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying. Thank you for explaining it. I feel this wasn't, like I mentioned before, women do not, like, this conversation was not for y'all. And so I can only keep returning to it because when a woman speaks, she does not need to continuously praise men. Not saying it needs to be continuous, but it doesn't need to build up a man while she's literally building herself. I get what y'all are saying, and it's unfortunate that you guys feel that women shit on y'all and we don't praise and raise y'all to how you guys feel that we should. I fully respect that. Also on our side, we have our own shit that we need to build. Raw, how you say all the time, like we got to worry about our own shit before we can help other shit. Women have been building y'all from the fucking beginning, but that's a whole nother story. But like, we also have to build ourselves too. This conversation wasn't about Obama. This conversation was about Michelle.
I got one thing before you go too far.
Hold on, Rob. Let her go ahead and cook, bro. Let her go ahead.
Before she go far, all I wanted to say in there is they have been building us, but you have to understand that we also came from single moms and they were building us in the wrong direction. That's all I was throwing in there. But go ahead.
Y'all are grown now at the same time. We can only hold on to our parent shit for so long before we stop. We can't keep holding on to it anymore. I get it. and we understand, but that's the same shit. We also have to evolve and grow. How y'all feel about single mothers? I do not feel the same way. I think that women do the best they fucking can and where are the damn daddies, because I feel like we always talk about how single mothers, and don't ever look at where the fuck is their father, but whatever. Y'all also have to grow and evolve when you get older. You can't keep blaming on your mother. That's all.